Thank you. Thanks, Michelle. Mic check. Audible, visible at the back. I see quite a few empty chairs, so our team outside, can you encourage few people who are in the pre-exhibition area to move in, because this is going to be one of the most interesting sessions. This is not a technology session. We've rarely got such stellar business founders, owners in a panel, and we are going to hear from them business success stories powered by technology. So phenomenal opportunity for me to moderate as well as learn golden nuggets from all of them, and I look forward to that. So I want all of us to leverage this, and can't sit down without paying my personal gratitude and appreciation to Professor Sadagopan. Sir, your presence inside the hall again enlightens, encourages, inspires all of us. Namaste and thank you so much for sort of gracing the occasion, and we would look forward to hearing to your keynote later in the session. Thanks, gentlemen. Pleasure panel. So my job is fairly simple, to ask you the right questions, and then all we want to tap into is your deep experiences of driving innovation, success, scaling businesses powered by technology. I think that's all what we eagerly look forward to learn and share among each other. So this interesting topic of converging cloud and AI and trying to have a multiplied value out of it, right? So integrating cloud and AI for success. I think thinking in isolation, cloud, the way we leverage it for scaling, for flexibility, for agility, and then the data focus came, and then AI on sort of, I think it's a no-brainer. Data or AI needs data more than data needs AI, because unless you have quality data, any form and shape of algorithm will not get you the right outputs or insights. So data and AI and the combination of sort of incremental insights and real-time decision making. Now if we combine the synergies across these so-called disparate, I would say, horizontals of technology, and see, okay, where there are there is convergence, there is multiplied value. So I want to start with that, and typically I love to start with the outside-in approach, requesting the business owners first to share a little bit of insights, and then come to Saurabh for the Google Cloud and Google Data Analytics AI side of story. So Vaibhav, if we may start, and again in an order which is farthest from me in the seating arrangement. Thinking of Portia as a medical home services business, how is your business leveraging cloud and AI as technology and what value you have derived so far, and where do you see it going from here? Yeah, please, there are hand mics next to each of you, please leverage.
So from our perspective, just to give a quick background, Portia is basically India's largest outside the hospital healthcare services company. And our clinicians go to patients' home to provide service. And we always solve this traveling salesman problem, right? Because each clinician has to go to multiple homes, right? So that solving the problem in India across different geographies and of course sub-geographies is a big challenge. And I just wanted to give this background because for us, it's a many-to-many problem solving. So unless you invest in technology right up front and build it ground up with all the algorithms and everything, you cannot scale. Correct? Today we do around 5,000 visits per day to patient homes. We spend more than 1 million hours in patient homes every month. Correct? So for that kind of interaction with the patients, for something which is important to them, it's not food delivery, right? It's something which is like taking care of your parents and taking care of your own health, right? So for us, investment in technology right up front has been very, very critical. And we did that right from the beginning, having a clinician app, collecting data as much as we can, given the propensity of Indian consumer to share data. Nobody wants to share data about healthcare very easily, right? Because it's very personal, right? So there are other aspects to that, but I think given that technology is very critical to us and variability of the business is there basis the seasons and all. So if you have variability of business, variability of infrastructure becomes very important. So for us, when we started, of course, cloud was the only way to be. There's no other way you can build an organization of our kind. So we looked at, of course, cloud from day one. And that has helped us a lot in terms of how we have built our whole organization and how we have built the whole services piece for our customers. Coming to AI, coming to data, I think that is something which has started picking up a lot in last 3 to 4 years, especially on the data side. We are, with point of care devices have become very commonplace, right? Earlier, everybody will use like a glucometer to test your sugar. Before that, you'll go to a clinic or go to a lab and get your blood tested. Then, of course, glucometer came. Now, what is called continuous glucose monitoring, right? It's a patch which you can apply, and it looks very cool. So now a lot of diabetic people want to show off that they have diabetes, right? Earlier, if nobody wanted to talk about if they have diabetes, it's a bad thing to have, right? Diabetes is like mental health. Nobody wants to talk about it, right? But now people, this cool actually. It's cool to have a patch, right? So that is something which has improved, which has happened now. And with that kind of data available, you can really create personalized care plans for the patient, which didn't exist. So I would say with of course cloud technology, digitalization, and data collection now, especially with point of care devices, healthcare can become a lot more personalized, which was not the case earlier. Healthcare is always about a clinician. It's always about the doctor, right? Who basically is the center of the universe. What is happening with data and the point of care devices, consumer, the patient is also becoming a stakeholder in this. And the healthcare universe will move towards more patient-centric, actually.
Fantastic.
Which, though we talked about it for a long period, we never did it, actually, because you just didn't have a stake in it, right? Today, with data available and ability to create personalized care plans, is something which will revolutionize the healthcare as you go along. And I think that's where the next set of data availability will happen. And then, of course, once data is there, you can use the AI and everything else. But I would say, from our perspective, using cloud, using technology, personalization is the way to go. And that's something which we are seeing enough action happening.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing. I think tech powering 5,000 home visits per day, that's scale. And then now the next, I would say, deep layering that they would be working upon is how to further deepen and sort of broad-based personalization. That's the two, I would say, key takeaways I take. Shifting from healthcare, home tech, healthcare business to loyalty programs, rewards programs on a digital platform. So Abhishek, we bring you in. How are you or is your business leveraging cloud and data and AI?
Thanks, Shantanu, first of all, for having me here to
Pleasure.
share my views. Just to give a brief about what we do, I think most of the people over here would know Zozo Day. So we are the leading rewards recognition and incentive gamification, and now we are also into loyalty management. When you speak about loyalty, and if you look at the businesses today, right, the customer acquisition cost has gone higher and higher, right? Now the focus for all the people in every industry is to retain the customers, right? And when you talk about retaining their customers, you talk about creating loyal customers, right? And that is where loyalty comes into picture. So if you talk about loyalty, I think it's bread and butter for every company nowadays that look into it, and that is where it becomes very relevant to understand your customer and then provide them the kind of points, the kind of loyalty solution that are required for them, right? It's a very personalized service, and it's very, I think, close to a customer when they look at it, right? Anything that goes wrong for a customer, they take offense to it. For example, I need something and I have certain points. I'm not able to redeem my points for certain use cases, right? That will give a very bad taste to me, saying that, okay, this company, I'll never come back again. Reason being, what's the use of the points? What's the use of the loyalty? When I am not being able to serve, the things that require at the time, right? So the whole point is how we are able to, provide that in real time, right? To provide that loyalty solution in real time. And hence cloud and AI, it becomes very important for us to solve that challenge, right? We actually serve millions of points every second, every minute, because we have customers all across the globe. We have from India. Most of the companies, around 80-90% of the companies in India use us, and for their employee benefits, they use for their customers, for the marketing services, for sales commissions and incentives, right? Out of the globe, a lot of banks and insurance companies are using us to give loyalty points, loyalty cards to their customers, to their end customers, and we power them by APIs, right? When we power them, we collect a lot of data from all these people, from the employees, for the customers, for the salespeople, everyone, right? And if you look at the TGs, right, each TG is very different. That means each persona is very different.
Correct.
A customer outside, its behavior is very different. Employee behavior is very different. Sales behavior is very different, right? But everyone is, tied together to one, single point is that's loyalty, right? Be it employee, be it sales guy, be it your customer, the loyalty is the core of it, right? And hence you cannot offend any one of these, right? And hence your solution has to be tailor-made to cater to these, personas, and at real time, most importantly, right? And when you talk about real time, and most of the esteemed panelists would, agree to that, because real time analysis has become the, prima facie, the important thing in today's world.
The core differentiator.
Core differentiator for almost all the organizations that you, look into, right? Because now you talked about, and I was listening to earlier conversation of the, of the speakers. They were talking about how they can do a 10-minute delivery, 7-minute delivery, things like those, right? Here we are talking about how you can do instant delivery, right? It's not even 10 minutes, 7 minutes. When you talk about delivering points, it has to be instant. When you talk about delivering vouchers, it has to be instant. I might be sitting at a lounge, I might be sitting at the airport, I might need a MMT voucher, make my trip voucher, I might need something to use for my purpose. People are literally using this as a currency, right? And when we talk about currency and all this point, right, they need instant gratification, they need instant solution, right? And hence the cloud, and we have to, because our customers are all over the globe, so we are using all the cloud providers, for example, Azure, AWS, and to some extent we have started playing around with GCP as well. We have to be cloud native. We have to be cloud agnostic. Our solution are like, containerized, that can be deployed in real time to, any of these, cloud services. And in AI, I think when we started using each of the solutions that we have prepared, like for example, employee engagement, for customer engagement, for sales commissions, incentive calculation, we have tailor-made our AI solution to cater that different kind of need, and they can just log into the system and they can, get all the required information in real time that would help them. Right? So that's how we are using our cloud and AI solution.
Thanks, Abhishek. I think brilliantly summarized, and we'll come back to you and build more on that. Coming next to you, Vaibhav, I know it's a similar digital platform, but for credit cards and centralized payments of credit cards. So taking a clue from what baselining Abhishek has already done, tell us a little more incrementally, anything you are doing a little different or a little more unique in context of your business, leveraging cloud, data, and AI.
Sure, sir. Thank you. So I represent Check here. Check is a unified credit management platform that helps you understand, manage, and leverage credit, right? And from cloud and AI, two things that cloud stood out was, one is GTM. It helps you sort of launch things faster, experiment at low cost. So it's great there. Second is, I think it just creates a holistic environment for you to build things. So whenever you're building using Gen AI, it has an overlap with machine learning, it has an overlap with analytics, it has an overlap with data storage. And that overall holistic view, what you get on cloud is pretty elaborate in that sense, right? Now we at Check, we want to go beyond credit scores per se. We've always, in the credit industry, mostly focused on credit scores and created personas around it. We want to leverage what else can a persona have using alternate data sources, which was already there. But now with all the power that Gen AI brings in, how can you go beyond credit scores? How can you create hyper-personalized credit health charts, health history around people? And how can you leverage all of that to give them loans eventually, so and so forth. So I think that's a very interesting area that we look forward to build on. Yeah.
Fantastic. And I have some, I would say, personal experience-centric stories to share, which I will do with you offline. There are still silos involved in the market because not everything is fully digitalized. So there are gaps and opportunities for a digital platform like yours to bridge those, identify those, and bridge those to bring it, as you rightly said, more centralized, holistic, and there is opportunity to drive greater experiences there. Coming to you, Puneet.
Can I just add a trivia, right?
Please.
So if you look at the outstanding credit card bill in US, it's about $1 trillion. And India is about 30 billion right now. So if you just go by that demand, and India is about 99 million odd credit cards right now, with a penetration of about 5%, you know where we are going. So yeah, that's why we are building what
Fantastic.
we're
Yeah,
building.
those numbers give some comparison of scale for sure. Puneet, we heard diverse businesses now coming to you, furniture and associated business, both online as well as in-store. Tell us how you're leveraging technology for your success.
So, hi, I'm Puneet from Wakefit. Now, some of you or a lot of you might know Wakefit is a sleep solution and a home solution company. We are a D2C company which owns manufacturing, owns supply chain, owns manufacturing facilities. We have the largest furniture factory in India. We have built our own supply chain because traditionally supply chain has been thought for either durables or smart products, small products like t-shirts and mobile phones and everything, but not for something like furniture, which is fragile, which is very heavy and bulky, and requires a lot of installation and various other services when it is delivered. So if you look at, and now we are omni-channel, we are not predominantly online anymore, but we sell at Amazon, Flipkart, and our website. So if you look at all of this, these are all very different businesses from each other. So we need technology that works for factory, where people have to be told on shop floor that what component goes to which machine at what time and how it is processed there. While for supply chain, you need planning, you need inventory management, you need warehouse management, you need 100 other things which help them deliver the product to the customer. There have to be multiple scans when it comes to delivering a single product. Similarly, we do marketing, and there it is a very different ball game because we have got distribution networks, we have got our own, brand marketing, digital marketing, whatnot. So we leverage cloud for storing all of this data which comes from different platform. We try to give different experience which is very relevant for that part of business. For somebody walking in store, it's very they need a very different experience from somebody who is coming on website. I can measure funnel on my website, but there is no funnel for store because I don't know who is walking in. We are not collecting all that level of details and data. And the level of information that my sales force need when they are on the shop floor, in the retail store, of course, that is a very different level of pitch and everything. So how do they deal with customers? What kind of questions is my customer asking? How do my sales force need to be trained? How is my customer care? Because we do a lot of our customer experience ourselves. So how should my customer experience team speak with the end user who is calling the customer support team? So these are all different problems, and they need all different solutions. Thankfully, tech has enabled us to deliver all of these.
Have a unified view of all of this and
all of
digitally integrating and have a unified
having
view.
that entire journey of the customer as well as order, so that we are able to track all of this in real time. And there's a lot of tech for this which we have to build ourselves in-house.
Fantastic. Thank you, and we'll sort of build again, come back to you more on that. Saurabh, you head the digital native business sales for Google Cloud India. So tell us a little bit about, while there is a lot of hype on how to sort of seize the disruptive promise of generative AI, how Google Cloud is helping digital native businesses. I know one of them is already a Google customer, and we were discussing some of the agility and benefits. So how Google Cloud is helping digital native businesses specifically put this larger promise into tangible, actionable motion, and then build it basis the milestone confidence and successes that they really need to drive.
Sure, thanks. And I think I will begin with saying that we've heard from a health tech startup, we've heard from a loyalty program and a rewards program co-founder as well here. We've heard from folks from different industries, and all of them have been saying that data is the key, data is the key. And what we all have been missing in this whole AI buzzword which we are in today, the real world in which we are living, is that the end-to-end story when it comes to generative AI, it all begins with data. And which is where I believe that Google has got a very well-oiled machinery when it comes to the entire Gen AI portfolio. It all begins with data at the foundation. All your data platforms, databases, all of that form the foundation of the AI journey. On top of it are nothing but your infrastructure accelerators. We all hear about the NVIDIA GPUs, and the TPUs is something which Google has to offer. And that, again, is something which is unique from a value proposition perspective when it comes to the infra side of AI. On top of it lies something called as the models. In today's world, everybody is talking about, I've released this model, what are you releasing, what are you working on? Happy to share that today Google is the only cloud service provider. In our model garden, we have close to about 140 plus was the last number I recall. Those are the kind of models which we have out there in the model garden for our customers to leverage. So those are like foundational models, models related to certain domain specifics, specifically for medtech, MedLM is there, and specifically for other set of models related to various other industries. We also have got third-party models from open source world, whether it is from Meta and other open source models. All of that forms the portion of the model stack. On top of it lies the software development tools, which help in accelerating the adoption of AI for any organization. And last but not the least are certain applications which are there from Google with respect to Gemini for coders, Gemini for workspaces, and Gemini for data. All of that are like out-of-the-box, ready-to-use solutions when it comes to the Gen AI. So the Gen AI story for Google is end-to-end. It is not just about models. It is not just about infrastructure. It is end-to-end, right from data to applications.
Thank you. Thanks, Saurav, for brilliantly layering that so I would say, the different tech layers and the cohesive, I would say, synergy across each. Now, maybe I'll start second round first with you. Google has a fantastic program of bringing in their partners as a true, I would say, complementary partners of progress. So tell us a little bit about the combination of Google Cloud and SADA and Insight Company as to how this combination creates multiplied value for digital native customers.
Sure, thanks for that. So I believe one of the key areas to focus in today's world is around skills when it comes to cloud and AI. And where SADA complements Google Cloud is bringing those skills into execution and action. So today, if a customer plans to go on the Gen AI journey, or a customer is planning to go on the cloud journey on the whole, born in the cloud kind of a customer, the basic instinct the customer has is, where do I get the resources or skills from? And that is where I believe SADA plays a very, very vital role in bringing in experts, not just from an architecture perspective, but also bringing in those execution folks who will actually do the work on the console for you. And that kind of gels very well with the whole go-to-market strategy for us, because partners play a very, very vital role whenever we talk about going to market.
Excellent, thank you. So for my quick round two, I want to still have an eye on the clock, and I want to keep last 2-3 minutes for some audience interaction as well. So round two is a quick 30-second rapid fire for each of us. And I would request, I'll start with Vaibhav again. Vaibhav, customer experience and how technology is helping you measure and grow customer experience. 30 seconds answer.
I think from our perspective, giving customers medical outcome, if I'm treating them well and if they are recovering at home, I think is the game changer. So for us, collecting data in terms of case files and everything, when the clinician is at the patient place, they collect data, they have to submit data to the central team, where a subject matter expert can work on it and of course create the plan which can get executed. So for us, customer experience is all about getting medical outcomes, and that is something which we have focused on a lot. And that's where technology helps you significantly. You're collecting data, analyzing data, giving plans, revising plans basis the feedback, and working on that. So.
Fantastic. Thank you. Abhishek, I'll come to you with the topic of innovation. Tell us how in your business you are leveraging technology to drive measurable, tangible innovation.
So, in today's world, I think every single second, every single moment, everything is changing. I mean, the tech is changing very drastically, right? So we have to adopt to the changing tech world very fast. And when we look around, I think we do a lot of training inside the organization, and also look forward to understand customer behavior very frequently by collecting a lot of data, right? We work on a principle of intrinsic and extrinsic gratification for customers, which is like, I mean, how can we, satisfy the needs of the customer on the gratification side, on the points and the loyalty side, and that drives the innovation that we are looking at.
Fantastic. Thank you. Vaibhav Magan, coming to you, and we have employee productivity as asked. How is technology helping you measure and improve and grow employee productivity?
Sure. So I think I'll just talk from my tech team's perspective. I think three things that GenAI has made good or maybe incrementally good for us is, one is I think merging of branches. I think PR merges, just for the audience. Second is I think writing test cases. And third is co-piloting in just writing code. I think all of these three things we've been adopting very well. And that has accounted in for about 40 to 45% of developer productivity to go up. And this has happened in the last 6 months.
Fantastic.
So pretty interesting times.
I think some of those measurements do inspire all of us to sort of build very, very measurable progress and outcomes around that space. Puneet, yours is I would say, diverse business involving warehouse, frontline stores, etc. So operational efficiency, how technology has empowered you to, again, centrally measure operational efficiency and improve and drive incremental ROI.
Right. So for us, we deliver products to the customer, whether customer places order in store, online, anywhere. That leads to a huge chances of inventory inflation, keeping right inventory at the right place. So we have built and deployed models which are allowing us to keep inventory in check. We have classified our products in what is my runner product, what is it which goes at a slower pace, and what are the strangers and MTOs and custom-made products. So what inventory to keep, what can be just in time, all of these decisions are taken by tech and engineering and data science. So I think in order to deliver customer the right product at the right time, that is where technology is helping us. That is what we strive to do.
Fantastic. Thanks. Saurav, before we conclude, quick request to seek your thoughts on data sovereignty, privacy, security, regulatory compliance, because with increasing, digitalization, there is a growing concern around the associated threats we all face as businesses. So how is Google Cloud in India empowering customers and assuring them with certain elements of these as much built in and bolted on?
Sure. So while each of these elements, whether it is to do with sovereignty, integrity, privacy, as well as security, each of it is in itself a subject for its own. But if you really look at the whole approach of Google, it's been about security being day zero for us. It is something which is inherent with Google Cloud. Data privacy and sovereignty and integrity is something which forms the core of our responsible AI mission. And I believe that in today's world, whenever we are looking for enterprise-grade AI, this is something which is incidental for any organization to look at and evaluate before they start on their AI journey. I would just conclude with that. Thank you.
Thank you. We have 55 seconds, so quick 1 or 2 questions. Can we move a mic? I have a gentleman here in the first table raising hand. Sir, short question, very precise. Your time.
My question is directed to the gentleman from Google Cloud.
Yes, please.
We are speaking a lot about data. Don't you think that all the data is historical? When we find that NPS are
So if you look at, since your question is much open-ended and it is not specific to any sector, what I would really would like to focus on here is that data is important for model training, and model training happens when you tune those models with the right kind of data sets. So whether it is historical data or real-time data, both come hand in hand before any model is kind of ready to go to market there for being leveraged from the AI perspective to be integrated to any product. So I believe historical data is as much as important as real-time data for creating the right models.
Thank you. Thanks for asking that question. Anybody else?
We'll take one other question.
One last question, and then,
Yes.
of course, our distinguished panelists are all with us through the evening, so you can interact. Okay, I see one hand
We have one
going up there.
hand here. Yes.
Quick movement of mic.
Good evening, this is Krishna here. I just wanted to ask the panelists, what are the limiting factors you see in today's AI integrating with the cloud, and what do you try to foresee in the future which could help you achieve better success? I'm throwing it to anyone.
Anybody volunteers a quick first opinion, second opinion? Yeah.
Okay, so let me go about it first. So one of the most important factor that I see when I manage team and cost and infrastructure, everything is the cost of implementing, right? If you are making a model, making a solution around AI, you also have to pick your customers based on it. Means that are the customers willing to pay for it, right? Which means that your AI also has to be implemented around the business, around the solution, in a very meaningful way, in a very cost-effective way. If your cost surpasses everything, then I think you will not be able to sustain, right? So that's very important from my perspective.
So just adding on top of it, I think two things that I see is, one is I think vertical foundational models are a need of the hour. We in fintech crave for it a lot. We've mostly been building on things that are not vertically aligned, so that's there. The second is around ethical and regulatory compliances. I think it's still black box. Whatever comes out, you can't really quantify it to where it has come from. There is a lot of things that are happening, but I think these 2 points are pretty much the challenges that I face.
I'll just add, there are 2 points from where I see. One is pretty much in line with what Abhishek said, ROI. I mean, I would look at spending at something only if it gives me return in terms of either cost saving or additional, something incremental, so that I can actually have a rationale behind investment I'm making. Second, I would say people go about building AI way too soon, but collecting data, ensuring the right quality, having right set of data, understanding what you're trying to build, speaking to your peers, understanding the business problem, and then going to solutionizing and creating models. Models come really late, but I mean, they take a lot of glory in being what they are. But I think before AI, there is a lot of data that has to be collected, it has to be evaluated, it has to be researched, it has to be analyzed, and then you can say that you're ready to build a model. So those in my head, that collection of data, which is primary thing, cleaning of data, and then of course, ROI has to be paramount before you build and deploy anything.
Thank you. Thanks, Puneet. Thank you. Thanks to our audience for asking a couple of great questions. Thanks to the eminent panelists. I think all of them bring in very diverse experiential success stories and I would say golden nuggets from their respective businesses, how they are leveraging cloud, data, AI, and collective digital technologies for progress and success. Thanks, Saurav, for sharing insights about how Google Cloud and SADA, partners like SADA are sort of helping customers achieve that journey, very, very strongly empowered with people, process, and technology. Thanks so much. A deep round of applause for our esteemed panelists. They are all available for interaction and more one-on-ones. Thank you. Back to you, Michelle.
Firstly, I would like to say a very, very big thank you to our distinguished panelists on stage here. Thank you very much for sharing your thought-provoking insights and, all the different perspectives that you have to share. I'm sure everybody is leaving here more enlightened today. And I'm sure we also have a lot of questions which our guests would like to ask you, but we will take it offline a little later. Mr. Ganguly, I request you on behalf of Strategink to kindly, as the CEO of Strategink and on behalf of Strategink, to please present a planter to each
Sure.
of our panelists here on stage.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
In keeping up with the Green Initiative, this is a
Sorry.
token of our gratitude and our
one-on-one photos and then a
appreciation
group
to all
photo.
of you for being here with us
Thank
today.
you so much.
Thank you once again for sharing your valuable perspectives with us.
Thanks. One group picture, please.
With your biggest smiles for our camera, please. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you again. Round of applause for all of you.
Thank you very much.